What did you just say?
I said your dream stinks.
He said it again. Come here.
What up, Lorcana community? This is Jake here, and we are hitting the Duck Tech number 3. And today we have a guest of Snuggly Duckling, big old Rip. He did well in the Nexus Lone Star. What do they call it? The Lone Star
Open?
Open. Yeah, it was our first one, so we had a good time and in Waco, seeing all our pals and just playing some cards. We did a good job. And Jourdon over here, as you can see, he made top 4 with some Blurple. We're gonna go over both of these decks. Rip made top 16. What was your exact placement?
On Saturday it was 11th, and on Sunday it was 12th. Oh, damn.
That's good. I mean, Blue Steel's still a real deck, y'all. He's out here killing it. Taking down some of these blurples, taking down the green blues, taking down the purples. Yeah, just murking them. So we're gonna kind of get into his list first, and we'll go into Jourdon's list afterwards. We're gonna pull it up and take a look at it. Let's see what we got here. And
yeah, man, it was an awesome tournament.
Yeah, it was a good time. It really was. The turnout was great, and just the overall competitiveness, I felt so good to me. But here's Rip Lung's list, and we're just gonna go over kind of ask you a couple of questions, and then you can kind of take it away. How did you feel about your list, and explain why you picked Blue Steel here?
Yeah, so just even before the set came out, just was testing with proxies and just been playing Blue Steel just for the past weeks, ever since, again, before the set and after it came out. And I think just because of the fact that we have Hades as a removal card was like the main reason why, like, okay, I can still play Sapphire Steel. If we didn't have Hades, probably wouldn't be on this color, but we have the ramp package as well. And then with the steel, the card still being good, I was like, okay, we can play Sapphire Steel this set. You fast forward 8 weeks later, and what really stood out to me in testing was just being able to ramp. Ramp in general was just really strong, but I think it really came down to just focusing on the big bodies, and you can kind of overwhelm your opponents, like steel decks against purple steel, amber steel. A lot of those times in those matchups, I have my opponents like, yeah, I don't think I can come back from this. And then really, it was just into Blurple where it kind of gets a little bit trickier. But I think Blue Steel right now is really solid just because we're doing the same thing that Blurple's doing, but we can also not counter, but we can also fight back a little bit better into Amber Steel or Purple Steel, maybe a little bit faster decks like Churn of Dogs, because we have Hades too and stuff like that. And overall, I just think the Sapphire Steel right now, it's not tier 1. I'm not going to say it's like the best deck, even though I think it's the best deck, but if you have things going for you, I don't want to say luck, but you see the right matchups and you can sneak into top cut, and then from there you can run with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got a couple of weird numbers in this deck with 2 ofs and 3 ofs and stuff like that. Kind of explain some of those choices and why you split these cards with these numbers like that.
Yeah, so I think the cards that you see like 2 ofs is more like I can see these cards whenever. It's not really like an issue if I don't or if I do see them, compared to the cards that I have like 4 ofs where you kind of just always want to like all those cards are just really solid into everything. The main thing with the hook was just I had like the ratio with Fire the Cannons, and then with Pleakley, I think maybe for like a DLC tournament or just any tournament in general, you never want to miss ramp. And I won some games against Blurple players because they miss ramp. So I think, that's something to consider, especially if you have to go, 11, 10 rounds into Swiss. You never want to miss ramp. Pluto was kind of just there. I couldn't really decide on the Pluto Kita. I wanted like another bruiser to fight back against steel decks, but I wanted something against Blurple. But I think overall, I think Kita might be better. And Fire the Cannons, Tinkerbell, just solid card into steel decks. But Beyond the Horizon was probably a card I should have ran more copies of. But overall, everything else that you see 4 of is just overall like super good always.
Yeah, yeah. And then you do have I would say a different list than most people. A lot of people on Blue Steel that I've seen personally are on the ally list. What do you have to say about the difference between the two, and why is this? I mean, it is stronger. I just know it is. But why is this stronger than the ally list?
I think if you're gonna play Scar or allies, I guess you kind of have to put all your eggs in one basket. You're kind of relying on Scar. Like, sure, you can play like Doc or Beyond the Horizon, but really, like the whole reason you're playing the deck and these vanilla characters is because you're gonna play Scar. And I think the one thing for me that kind of pushed it was like the rise of blue green. I think that deck like just punishes you for playing Scar. And I think I played 4 green blues this past weekend, 2 each day. You're kind of forced to play Alice or Ward to protect Scar, and I think Ward is really good. But right now, with the rise of aggro and how Turner Dogs, shout out Birdie for taking it down with Turner Dogs, we're gonna
Yeah,
see a lot more faster decks. And like against faster decks, I'd rather just play bigger bodies out faster and not really rely on having to draw on turn 4. I'd rather like focus on drawing like turn 6 or 7.
for sure, for sure. I mean, it looks like a very, very consistent deck. Like you said, it doesn't look like you're ever going to miss ramp with Tipo, Pleakley, Kita, and Sail all in the deck. It's pretty consistent there with the ramp. And then you have your evasive answers, you have ping removal. The deck really does have it all. And along with the draw with Namari and all that stuff. So it's looks very consistent. Now let's kind of talk about what your best matchup is, and what is your worst matchup? You can start with your best.
I mean, it's I don't know, like it's honestly funny when people like bring it up or like ask about me, like, so what's Sapphire Steel, like, best matchups, and I don't know, like I kind of like it's just honestly straight up. I think you can just beat everything. But I don't want to say like I have best matchups. Like it's kind of I don't know, awkward to say. Like I just feel like this deck can just I'm not afraid to take on. I'm not afraid to go against anything with this deck. Like if you're piloting this deck, it has a lot of good offensive and defensive stuff. Like I said, the only tricky matchup, I guess, it's easier to say what's the more difficult, and I think I want to say is just on the draw into Blurple, just
Yeah,
because of how powerful Elsa is. It's just a card that can come down and tap your character sideways. They have access to Bell. They have same thing like you, Hades. So when you're on the draw, they can just make the first move. But against like Purple Steel, Amber Steel, they don't always have the nuts. Like something that I noticed this weekend. Like I played against 4 Amber Steels. I took 3 of them on, and only one of them really had the nuts. Mind you, I had FTC one game on one of them, but that's why I play the card.
yeah,
Like steel decks, like they're just not really that difficult on the draw to like play around. Like you just know they're playing small guys every turn. And then green blue is just a really solid matchup. I think it's 50-50. If you throw Pete in there, like it's just a like your percentage goes up way more. I
yeah.
think this deck can literally just go against everything. I have no issue. Maybe Turner Dogs is a little bit also tricky with the Chromacons and stuff. But again, like you can just tech in Benjas or something like that, and you're back on an even playing field. But Blurple
True.
would be Blurple on the draw is definitely 2 of my losses this weekend.
Blurple on the draw. That's everyone's.
It's everyone's
Everyone's
weakness.
everyone's scared of it. Everyone's scared of Blurple on the draw, and I hear that.
Yeah.
Jourdon, do you have anything to comment on the list? And then I have one question after we hear what Jourdon has to comment. Anything
Yeah,
on?
yeah. So I'm curious. You're playing 3 strength. How good do you think strength is in this build?
I don't think it's a good early game card. I think throughout testing earlier in the weeks, I was trying to focus setting up strength plays into certain matchups, but that just felt really bad. And especially like having to value all the cards in your hand, so like not having to want to ink strength and ink other cards. Like I think valuing your Vince is way more better than a strength. Like I'm always like inking strength now over Vince,
Yeah,
especially into like Blurple or something like that. I think the card, I think you even told me you brought it up, like you just have to run it. I think it does come up in some random scenarios. It's really good into Purple Steel, but other people, testing this list and stuff like that, we've kind of maybe considered dropping down to 2, especially because if you play Visions of the Future, other filter cards, stuff like that. It is a good card, but like for this build in particular, it's honestly, and I can tell you for the weekend, it was probably the weakest card the whole weekend for me personally. I hated it every
Wow.
time I had it.
it's interesting.
I just hated this card every time I drew it. in like when I was losing, I guess. But I guess it's always bad when you're losing, right? But
Yeah.
it just never like I can't honestly tell you off the top of my head if I made any strength plays this weekend.
Yeah.
I think that's
So,
surprising for some people to hear, but that's probably
mhm.
good for them to hear too.
They're like, oh, this guy's not even relying on strength. But I think honestly, like Hades and Vince carries you like against Blurple, like strength, I feel like is a really weak card. Like Purple Steel can use it way more efficiently because they go wider faster. But I have like, Vince and Hades, like those cards are just way more easier to set up, especially on the draw. Like strength on the draw into Blurple, you're never getting that off. And then
Yeah.
against Amber Steel on the draw, you're also kind of behind if you're trying to get that off. So really, like it's just a good card when you're already ahead. But if you're already ahead, like you're already ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, my question is, no Pete. Are you just not scared of the green-blue matchup with Under the Sea or Bend or any of these major spells that are being played in this format right now? You just don't care, don't not worried about it?
I think P is just only good into green blue. I tested that card a lot, and the argument that it could stop his strength just kind of like wasn't worth it anymore. There's just so many better cards. Like I'd rather have a Lilo on turn 3 into Amber Steel. That's like way better than a Pete. But that card will automatically like not want to say automatically, but your chances again of winning into green blue are huge. I just felt like green blue, it's better than Sapphire Steel only with the draw aspects. The Clarabelle is very broken, but I think that deck can lose to itself more than Sapphire Steel can, if that makes sense. Like when I did
Yeah.
beat my green blue opponents, like one of their games when they were on the play or on the draw, I mean, or I guess on the play, they just either didn't have the Clarabelle or things got awkward for them. And then against my deck in particular, or Sapphire Steel in general, I had like no good cards in my hand, and they did a "You're welcome," send back my card, and I drew 2 Hades. And cool, my turn, play Hades on your Clarabelle. I think they played a John Silver or something, and I just played another Hades. So I think that deck, you kind of already have a decent solid matchup into it, just because you're fighting back on ink and you're also playing big characters. I just feel like if Pete was good into other stuff, but like into Blurple is useless. Uh,
Yeah.
into Purple Steel, Amber Steel again, I'd rather much just play Lilo on turn 3 to stop like 5 lore, 4 lore.
Yeah. Okay. That's completely understandable. I totally understand the whole Blurple. It's kind of useless against Blurple unless you can't really take out a character for second star or something like that. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, kudos to you, man. You kicked butt with Blue Steel, which, like we said, I don't want to say it's a B tier deck, but it's definitely not the S tier right now, and it takes a
Yeah.
lot of brain power to get there with this type of deck.
Yeah,
And
for
especially
sure.
a lot of testing and engineering against the full meta and understanding how to play against each color base is
Yes.
really, really key to these decks that are really min-maxy is how I explain it. This and Purple Steel are just probably the most min-maxy decks that you
Mm-hmm.
need to really not misplay, because misplaying with these decks really punish you, I feel like, because
100%.
you don't have too many cards to be on your back foot. Like the whole Blurple thing is the Hades war. Whoever can throw the Hades out first, and I feel like you're kind of slightly behind because you have no way to bounce your Hades, so you have to really use your Hades correctly against a lot of the other decks and stuff like that. But again, great job. You killed it this weekend. 2 top 16s with
Thank
Blue
you.
Steel.
Mm-hmm.
All the haters. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it with Blue Steel. So
I'm
anyone that
trying,
says they
man.
can't do it, he's doing it.
I think I was the only Blue Steel player in the room, to be honest with you. I didn't see I didn't see any other Blue Steel decks unless someone was playing, but I didn't see anyone on it.
Yeah,
It,
if
it
they
was
were,
cool
they're
though.
probably playing allies and
Yeah, ally
allies.
scars.
Uh,
No, I mean, I will say though that yeah, like how you said, I think this deck is very punishing. Kind of like I wouldn't say like blue green in the sense that it loses to itself, but like with this build in particular, I found that I was catching myself on some awkward plays, having to play a 1-drop and then realizing a couple turns later with Amari like running out of cards to like try to cycle. Um, Punishing myself sometimes with like having trying to focus like Kita and having Donald, and then like also maybe like Cell, and like in those situations you're kind of like, oh man, like it's so easy just to go sell Scrooge, but now I open myself like 10 lines, and like it gets a little more complicated there. So I think going forward, the list can definitely change. Well, I'm already changing it. Got all the data, all the stuff, and adapted to it. Took some advice from other very skilled players that were there, and I think the direction going forward is definitely just trying to maximize consistency. I will say, seeing Blurple this weekend so many times where I even saw Jourdon do this, where like I think he went like sail into develop into visions, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like the consistency is just crazy with a card like develop. So I'm definitely gonna implement that in and
Yeah.
try to just see how I can just make it just more consistent, and maybe add in more copies of Beyond the Horizon, because that card is just MVP into Blurple, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. Well, we're going to move on and talk about the big dog Blurple that everyone's scared of. And Jourdon took Blurple to Waco this weekend, and he made top 4, where he
Congrats.
lost in a mirror match. Oh, those suck. Everyone hates them. I love them, but everyone else hates him, supposedly. So let's cover his Sunday list, where he made top 4.
Also took out
And
my boy in top 8.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
he did.
shout
He
out
did.
Benchy. Yeah, yeah. Ah
There's
man, you smoked them, bro.
a lot of, yeah. I mean, it's a very very back and forth mirror
Yeah, I
that
just want to say off the rip, this list looks super good into the mirrors. Just wanted to say that off the rip.
yeah, for sure. He was expecting that, and we're gonna let him take it away. Jourdon, explain these numbers, man. These numbers are crazy. These numbers are crazy, man. You're muted. Oh no, we can't hear you. Oh no.
Dude, you
Hey.
couldn't hear me that
There
whole
we go.
time. That's
There we go,
crazy.
baby.
Oh
I
my
was saying some stuff. Anyway, uh,
god.
thanks, Rip.
Yeah.
Congrats. I said shout out to your boy Jesus.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Anyway, so these numbers look the way they do because there may have been a 9 a.m. shift of the deck.
Thought it was a 1 a.m. shift, right? Or there was the 1
We
a.m.
all did
thought,
that.
right?
It was a 1 a.m. thought, but a 9 a.m. shift. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I was playing Riders Saturday, and those were okay. But then I took 2 draws against Green Blue from players that probably are going to take more than 1 draw in a multi-round tournament. So, monitor slow play, I would say to people. Anyway, so I wanted cards that helped against Green Blue. So I was looking at decks, and I saw someone that played Ben, and I was like, let me try it out. And then, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna try Bend, and then I'm gonna try Ursula, because the Ben kind of helps. The Ursula kind of helps the Ben take out Clarabelle and take out the aggro decks. And then I was like, if I'm gonna do that, then maybe I play Dig instead of Second Star because it might be easier. Then I was like, if I'm cutting down Second Stars, I'm gonna cut down TikToks, and then it ended up with 4 develops 4 vision, and that's kind of where all the numbers came from.
Yeah.
Deck felt good. Flowed pretty well. I don't know if the bends are the best 4-drop I could play, but I hate Iago notoriously. So, yeah, I gotta figure out something else besides Iago to play there. And then I may think about playing more digs, but it's hard to fit the digs on the Second Stars. But anyway, the deck felt pretty solid.
Yeah.
Not too different than my Saturday deck.
So with my experience, your list looks a little it looks a little weak in the mirror due to not having the TikToks. How did that feel not having TikToks in the mirror? I just know that one big evasive is typically hard for other Blurple matchups to come over, like, get over without wasting the Hades, and then you kind of lose the Hades war if you're the first Hades to come hit the field. How did you avoid that or actually play around that?
Just focusing on the like 4 or 5 interactions in the mirror where you have with the bends opening up plays where you basically have like 6 basils that helps. taking care of the board early, and then you don't care as much about TikToks. You have to respect them. But when they play TikTok, they don't interact with your setup too much. So if you're ahead on board and can sing second star already, then it doesn't matter if they have TikTok really, because you go second star, then you have Hades their TikTok, and now they can Hades you back, but you're already ahead on board to begin with, and
Right.
kind of can spiral from there.
Yeah.
Um, but I will say that I did miss the rider, I think, because just having the evasive body,
Ride or die,
uh,
man.
wait, what?
I said
Ride or
ride or
die?
die.
Yeah, yeah. Because just having the evasive body, so that way they can't just ignore it. Because if you play like Elephant or you play Ben, sometimes they can just ignore it, especially if you don't have the Elsa to follow up the Ben. Um, and if that happens, then they can sing second star now uncontested. So it's like kind of I feel like we need more evasives, and I think that Ben's a cool idea, but not the Milwaukee idea, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, with this list, what was your if you didn't want to see a matchup, what was your worst matchup and what's your best matchup?
I want to see everything. Give me all the smoke. I want to see every deck. I
There you
think this
go.
deck is better than every deck. It's better than every deck on the play. On the draw, it's unfavored against Amber Steel, but it's still winnable. Against dogs, I feel like the deck's better against dogs than it is against Amber Steel. Um,
Yeah. I
and
definitely felt that. I beat one dogs in the Saturdays tournament, and it was a tough battle, but I'll just say that when you can ink their Lilos and get rid of all the characters that, just come back or, deal with I don't know. It was a simple matchup. I hit Monstro and was able to clear the whole field too before he hit the Chromacon. I guess he was
we
only
played
playing
against the
two.
same guy.
Did we? Did
I
we?
played that guy too. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
telling me that you monstered him.
Yeah, I mean, he hated it. He did not like that. But
I didn't monstro him, but I did keep him off of 4 ink for like 5 turns because he was trying to
okay.
set up a tramp and he didn't want to discard his whole hand, so he didn't want to ink anymore. And then I just kept sniping him with Ursula and Elsa and Belle, and then Hades. And finally, Hades them, and then like he finally got to play the tramp, but he had like no cards again.
Yeah.
Uh, so um, yeah, I mean the list feels good. I don't really hate any matchup really. I think all the matchups are winnable. That's the gift you get from playing Blurple.
Yeah.
It's also the most fun deck to me, so it's a no-brainer that I'm playing it.
Yeah, it's definitely both of these decks, Blue Steel and this, are like heavy thought decks. You gotta really kind of predict your opponent's turn and what's gonna come next. It's not no lay your hand down and just turn things sideways, which some of these decks kind of are like that. I don't want to say that your skill level is that good, but I'm just gonna say that your deck is just that's how it's played. So but yeah, I mean, keep going, Jordan. If you have anything to add to it,
Uh, an idea with the TikTok, because you missed kind of TikTok. A lot of the times, you can go develop plus 5 drop on 6, or you can go vision plus 4 drop on 6, depending if like you're still dealing with the board. If you're dealing with the board still, then you go like develop 5 drop, usually like Bell after an Elsa attack, so you can shift damage off.
right,
Um, and then a lot of times you go vision plus 4 drop, like you can set up your second star or like your Hades for the following turn, or maybe even more removal if you find the Bell or the Elsa, or Dumbo is kind of like a second star if you find it with the visions. So, uh, yeah, that's the 6 drop situation. In a lot of the times, I like that idea more than playing TikTok. Um, but maybe TikTok's something I have to like readdress. It is good into the mirror. It is good against green blue, but it also is very inactive against amber steel and
for
green
sure.
yellow.
It's
And if purple
100%.
steel doesn't pick back up, then I don't know if I want to play TikTok, because a lot of the best lines you have are establishing a 4 drop and then establishing the TikTok, and then purple steel, if they don't have strength, can't really take you off of second star ever.
Yeah, I
Um,
purple. That I was gonna get to our best matchup was probably purple steel. Like if
Oh no, it's a
I'd say
bad
the
matchup. People should play purple steel because it beats purple. Play for Milwaukee. Everyone should play purple steel for Milwaukee. And when we play, I'll cry. You'll probably be favored. That's how you beat me. Just play purple steel against me.
I agree. Play purple
Yeah,
steel.
yeah.
Play purple steel. I agree.
Everyone should play purple steel. It's a great deck. It's not fair. It's very unfair. Um,
all right, we're all the purple steel right now. We're gonna, but yeah. Other than that, great job this weekend, guys. We went to reiterate, we went to Waco at the Nexus Lone Star Open where they had 2 5K events. It was a great time. Let's kind of just rip. You can take it away for a little bit. How was your experience just overall at the event?
Yeah, I think I probably had the coolest experience just because being able to ride up with 4 friends, 4 very good friends, one person from my city, and drive up, and just talking about like he was a fairly, like, I don't want to say new player, but newish player to the competitive scene, my homie Birdie, and he was just saying like, oh man, like it's tournament, asking like how it's gonna go down. What do you think if we're gonna win? I was like, yeah, bro, we could take it. You've been grinding with Turner Dogs. I've been grinding with Sapphire Steel, and then picking up my homies Benchy and Fat Panda. And the whole time I was actually vlogging the whole trip. You guys also came out on my vlog. It's gonna be a dope video, and it was
Pretty
just really
awesome.
awesome being able to capture like the whole road trip, the whole moment. And I think the coolest part that people are gonna see, it was like 1 a.m. Probably like you guys, how you guys also brought up something like that. It was 1 a.m. and we were just there, final testing, final thoughts, and we were just telling each other like, hey man, one of us is gonna take it. And the fact that I didn't even care that I didn't, I don't care that I didn't win. Like, it was really cool seeing one of my friends, and this is one of the first times I've kind of I've experienced this, where actually I get to see a homie win a big tournament. Like, I've
Yeah.
never experienced that before. It just felt super awesome, like seeing that, how happy he was, how hard, and I know how hard he's worked for it. And we went out. We all went to that pizza place after. That was dope.
hey, yeah, shout out to the pizza
That
place.
was cool. Yeah, that was cool. It was like private, not private, but it felt like a cool little private vibe. And overall,
Yeah.
man, I had a super good time seeing you guys. Always seeing people at events. Always meeting new people. I love going to these tournaments, and I had a super dope time.
Yeah, yeah, we had a blast too.
Yeah,
Jordan,
yeah.
you want to kind of
Beautiful.
cover how your experience for the tournament too? I know
Yeah.
your first day wasn't your favorite day, but you can cover it all. You can cover it all.
So yeah, we did a road trip too. What time did we get in? We got in pretty early, right? We got in
We got in at like 7.
yeah, we got in at 7. We had a good drive there. That was fun. We got to Nexus, walked into Nexus. That place is amazing.
Yeah,
Shout out to Zach. Shout out to the rest of the people that work there and the
yeah. Shout
owners.
out to Lore
And
20 too. You know
yeah,
Yep,
they.
shout out to
yep,
Lord
yep.
20 for putting on great production. Um, that place is awesome. I want to go back there. Um, Tournaments ran smooth for the most part. Um, I didn't have the best time against some green blue players because, as they do, uh,
A lot of
they're
thinking.
there's a lot of thinking. Yeah, thinking. They're thinking a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah.
There's there's a lot of bouncing to try not to lose in time. Yeah, And but anyway, Saturday wash. Who cares? Played some verses. It was fun. Sunday, we made a split decision at 9 a.m. to switch to the deck. It was great. Turned out that it just was perfect. And then had a great time. Up until Voldemort was really mean to my favorite teammate Woody, and
Yeah, yeah.
I really wish I would have played him in round 6 because I was not going to ID. We were going to play it out, and I was going to
Fire.
knock him out of top 8,
Fire,
but I didn't
fire.
get to play him, so that's unfortunate. Besides that, great time with the staff. Judges were great. The drive back was great. Thanks, Jake.
Oh, no problem, dude.
Big no shout out to the Buc-ee's that's closest to Waco because they were
Yeah.
closed when we got there. Yeah, it was a great day. Great weekend. I got to hang out with the boys. Shout out to Joe for making his cookies.
But yeah, those cookies were fire.
Shout out to Joe for making his breakfast.
Yeah, every morning, dude.
Yeah, shout out to
we gotta go
Robbie
on
Lee
another
for being
trip.
the best red purple player on the team.
Yeah.
And
Oh
yeah, it
boy.
was fun. It was a great time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a second another duck tech to go through me, Robbie, and Joe's decks, but I'll spit a little bit about my time. I loved seeing everyone. We had just a good time. The Frito pies were fire. Um like
Sandwiches, fire.
yeah, the
Eat the
sandwiches
food
were
at
great.
Nexus. Go to Nexus, eat the food.
Yeah,
Yep.
the food's great. We played Marvel vs. Capcom. We played Bubble Breaker.
Oh,
We just
yeah.
had a great time. Like just
The
not
bubble
just
game.
Lorcana. It was just overall just a great experience. The vendors were good. Just overall, it was awesome. It was a good time. It was a really good time. But yeah, other than that, I don't think we have anything negative to say other than, Lord Voldemort
Voldemort.
and the the Green Bay Packers, right? But
Not a fan of the Packers.
yeah, we're not a fan of the Packers, but it's okay. It's okay. It all worked out in the end, and we all had a blast. And I want to say thank y'all both for coming on Duck Tech, especially you, Rip. I know you're not associated with Team
Thank you,
Snuggly
thank you.
Duckling, but you're always a homie, man.
He's the homie.
You're definitely one of us, man. I really
Appreciate y'all,
appreciate
man.
you
Real
being on
time.
here. But we're gonna shoot out another Duck Tech probably in about 2 or 3 days, going through some red, purple, my blurple list, and some green, blue that made top 16. So check that out in the future. But I appreciate y'all for coming on, and y'all take it easy and
Yes, sir.
have a
Thank you.
good one.
Thank you, man. For having me on. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Under the beams, where the shadows dance, a tankard of ale in each eager hand's chance. The snuggly duckling, a haven so bright, with laughter and cards under candlelight. Shuffle the deck, let the fortunes unfold. In the snuggly duckling, their stories retold. With kings and queens and a jokester's cheer, this merry old pub will always hold dear.